Alright, so in this video we'll pick up from where we left off in the last video. Let's create a macro and we'll call this macro as check color. This is to check if the color of the killer is same as our player color. So we'll have one input which will be the killer, which will be of type killer, object reference, compile. Now from this we will have one more input which will be the executive pin, and we can move this on top. Alright, so output will have two outputs. One will be same and the other will be not same. So we'll get the player character, get color, and we'll get color from our killer, and we'll check if they are equal to. So if the color the killer has is the same as this one, we'll have a branch. If it's true, it's same. If it's false, it's not same. Checks if killer has same color as player. Alright, compile and save this one. So the next thing we'll create is a drop function. So add custom event dropped. This is when the killer hits the floor. Now we'll just create this function and we'll use it later. So let's close this one and we'll select the platform. We'll select blueprint, convert selected to a blueprint class. We'll call it BP_platform, and we'll place this under browse, blueprints. Okay, select. So now we can add a component, a box collision. We'll call this collider, and we'll give the dimension as 600. That's a bit higher than the range the killers are spawning in, and we'll move it a touch down. That's fine. Now we'll go to event graph, get rid of all this, get the collider, right click on begin overlap. We'll check if the other actor is killer. Now on begin play we can have, in fact we can directly use here. So we'll get game mode, cast it to game mode. That'll be GM_gameplay, and we will promote this to a variable. We'll call that game mode. So every time now a killer hits the floor, we will call that drop function in our game mode. So we'll get game mode dropped. Now one more thing we need to do is we'll go to game mode, and in the dropped we'll add an input which will be killer of type BP killer, object reference, compile. So you can pass that killer as an input, compile and save. So now what we will do in the drop function is, first of all, we will call that check color. Okay, and we'll check if the color of the killer is same as player. Now if it is same, let's create another function, add custom event. We will call that end game for now, and for now we'll just print the string on the screen saying game over. So if the dropped color is the same as the player color, we will call the end game function. And we will destroy actor, that's the killer. But if it's not the same, so what we do is we'll get reference to player and call the change color function, and for the value of that color we will get color from the killer and plug that value inside. Next thing we'll do is spawn another killer, and it connects to the destroy actor. We can comment this one and keep it yellow for now because there are a few things we'll add to it in future. So this called when killer hits the floor. Compile and save. So let's test this. So when we missed the same color as our player, it called the game over. As long as it's a different color, a new color will spawn. Now let's do one more thing before we end this video. To make it easier for the player to know where the killers are falling, we can set the rotation of X to be 90 degrees, so it's facing exactly down. Y can be 0. In fact, it's the other way around. We want X to be 0, Y 90, and Z to be 0. Okay, it's facing up, so we want it to be down, so it will be minus 90. So now when you play, you can know exactly where the killer is going to fall. Now one more thing we can do, in case you are not seeing the right shadows, you can go to settings, engine scalability, and set it to epic. So that will make sure there is crisp shadows on the floor. So in the next video we'll create the function for when the killer is collected by the player. So see you in the next video.